You've probably heard a lot about minimalism, how it's all about peace, clarity, and living with less. But what if I told you there's a darker side to minimalism, a side that most people don't talk about, something that's not all sunshine and calm spaces? Because let me be real, minimalism isn't always sunshine and calm spaces. It can be a roller coaster of emotions, frustrations, and tough decisions. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain on 5 harsh truths about minimalism that will challenge your entire perspective on this perfect lifestyle. Are you ready to face the uncomfortable truths? If you think you know what minimalism is all about, think again. Let's dive in and uncover what nobody tells you before you start the journey. Truth 1. Minimalism in a consumer-driven world. First truth. Living minimalism in a consumer-driven world is tough. Everywhere we look, society encourages us to buy more, to have more, and to be more. We're surrounded by ads, influencers, and social media feeds that constantly tell us that happiness is linked to what we own. But minimalism? It asks us to step back and take a hard look. Do we really need all of this stuff? Or have we simply been trained to believe we do? Breaking free from the constant pressure to consume is no small feat. It feels like everything around us is screaming, more is better. But here's where minimalism offers us a lifeline. It gives us the power to make intentional choices about our possessions. Choices that reflect who we truly are, not the image society is pushing us to adopt. But here's where things get tricky. As we start to embrace minimalism, we're not just fighting against the stuff in our homes. We're also fighting against a culture that thrives on excess. And that leads us to our next truth. Truth 2. The pressure to conform to standards. Next, let's talk about the pressure to conform. And trust me, this is one of the trickiest parts of minimalism. Whether it's from the minimalist community, social media, or even your closest family and friends, there's this constant push to fit into a box. You've probably heard it before. Are you minimalist enough? Why don't you get rid of more? This kind of pressure can easily turn something that was meant to be liberating into something stressful, right? Instead of focusing on what truly matters, you find yourself worried about meeting someone else's idea of minimalism. And that's not freedom. It's just another kind of trap. Here's the truth. Minimalism isn't about meeting someone else's standards or trying to achieve some perfect aesthetic. It's about living intentionally with the things that truly matter to you. It's about creating a space that's free of distractions, so you can focus on what adds real value to your life. It's not about getting rid of everything until your space looks like a magazine cover. It's about focusing on what aligns with your values and brings clarity, peace, and purpose. Minimalism is about removing the unnecessary to make room for the essential. It's about embracing what truly serves you, not fitting into someone else's version of perfect. So what's your take on this? Have you ever felt pressured to conform to someone else's idea of minimalism? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this perspective on minimalism feels like a breath of fresh air, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get more insights about living intentionally. Let's keep this conversation going. Truth 3. The emotional toll and avoiding the rush. The third truth about decluttering, letting go, is tough. And no, it's not just about removing things from your space. For many of us, it's a journey of confronting memories and emotional ties that we often overlook. Every item we let go of can represent a chapter in our lives, an old relationship, a dream, a moment that meant something to us. Deciding what to keep and what to release isn't just practical. It can stir up grief, anxiety, and a real sense of loss. That's why it's so important to declutter at your own pace. Take your time. Not everything needs to be let go of right away. Minimalism is about letting go of what no longer serves you, but it's okay to hold on to the things that help you heal, that carry meaning, and that remind you of the person you're becoming. Not every item has to go just because it doesn't fit the minimalist aesthetic. It's about intention, not perfection. And here's where the myth comes in. The idea that in order to truly embrace minimalism, you need to purge everything in a weekend, throwing out half your belongings in a single blitz. Sounds liberating, right? But in reality, rushing the process can backfire. When you let go of sentimental items in the heat of the moment, you might find yourself regretting it later. Trust me, I've heard stories from people who had to go out and repurchase the things they rushed to get rid of. Minimalism isn't a race. It's a journey, a mindful journey that requires you to move at your own pace. It's okay to take a step back and carefully consider what you're ready to part with, especially with those items that hold emotional weight. Going too fast with those can leave a void you can't fill again. So, trust the process. Take your time. It's about finding clarity, not just clearing out your space for the sake of it. But here's the thing. Emotional attachment and the pressure to rush aren't the only obstacles you'll face on this minimalist journey. There's another challenge that can completely derail you if you're not careful: chasing the idea of perfect minimalism. It's easy to get caught up in the myth that minimalism is supposed to look a certain way, but it's a trap. Truth 4. The myth of perfect minimalism. The fourth truth: there's no such thing as perfect minimalism. It's a concept that gets tossed around a lot, and it's easy to fall into the trap. Many people think that to be truly minimalist, everything in your home has to be flawless, streamlined, and curated to perfection. But here's the kicker. That's a myth. Minimalism isn't about perfection. It's about simplicity and intentionality. It's about creating a space that works for you, not trying to meet some idealized standard or fit into someone else's idea of what minimalism looks like. The truth is, trying to force everything into this picture-perfect mold actually defeats the purpose of minimalism in the first place. Don't get caught up in the pursuit of perfection. Embrace the messiness that comes with real life. Life is imperfect, and your home doesn't need to be a sterile, Instagram-worthy space to be meaningful. Minimalism isn't about having a perfectly curated home. It's about living more intentionally. It's about having fewer things that weigh you down, and more of what helps you live fully, without the distractions. But even when you let go of that need for perfection, there's still one more thing that can make minimalism feel like a challenge. A fear that a simpler life will mean losing a part of who you are. Let me tell you, that fear is real, and it's the fifth truth you need to face. Truth 5. The fear of losing identity. Fifth truth. Minimalism can trigger the fear of losing your identity. This is one of the most common concerns people have when they start to declutter. We often tie our sense of self to the things we own, the clothes we wear, the gadgets we use, or even the art on our walls. These items can become so entangled with who we are that letting go of them feels like losing a part of ourselves. But here's the truth. Minimalism doesn't erase who you are. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about stripping away the distractions to get to the core of what truly defines you. It's not about getting rid of everything or living without any possessions. It's about keeping what really speaks to your essence, your values, your memories, and your true self. By embracing minimalism, we make room for more meaningful connections, personal growth, and the space to explore who we really are. When you let go of unnecessary possessions, you make space for what truly matters. And you'll find that, in the end, what defines you isn't the things you own, but the way you live, who you choose to become, and what you choose to prioritize. Now, this journey of minimalism isn't just about getting rid of things. It's about creating space for the things that matter most. And when you step back and embrace intentional living, you'll realize that minimalism isn't a destination. It's a process of constant evolution. So, what does that process really look like? Minimalism isn't about following rules or meeting someone else's expectations. It's not about fitting into a specific mold or living up to a perfectly curated lifestyle. It's about reclaiming your life from the distractions, pressures, and excess that often keep us from living fully. Minimalism is a process of choosing less, not as a form of deprivation, but as a way to live more intentionally. When we let go of what's unnecessary, we create space for the things that truly matter. We make room for our values, our relationships, and our personal growth. Minimalism is an act of freeing ourselves, not just from things, but from the clutter that can overwhelm our minds and hearts. So if you're just starting your minimalist journey or feeling overwhelmed by it, remember, it's not about perfection, it's about simplicity. Go at your own pace. Let go of what no longer serves you, but don't be afraid to hold on to the things that bring you joy, comfort, and meaning. Minimalism isn't a destination, it's a way of living. It's a way of creating space for what truly matters. It's about living with intention, clarity, and freedom. So take a breath, embrace the process, and remember, less can mean so much more. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the challenges and rewards of minimalism in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going, and thank you for watching. I truly appreciate you taking the time to be here.